Oh, damn. That's okay.
No.
That's fine.
All right. Let's run through all this. All right, you get one on one on one.
My mortgage moment isn't gonna mean as much today.
No. All right, Mariah, tell me something, tell me something good that happened this week.
I bought the MLS
You're on the MLS.
and I started. Not under contract, it's my mom, because they're looking at buying an investment home, but the area of search is so small, so I did the thing where you like alert and the listing in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Cause we're trying to do it with all the Lee high schools, so we have a bunch of junior high and high school, so that radius is so small, because we used to live in Lee High and that's where all my daughter's friends go, so. If we move, she wants them to be friends, so. So looking for that, and then my boyfriend, I find old houses and stuff. This works too, just have to find.
Love it. Well, there's two people on the hook. Potential commissions right there. Keep it up. Keep looking for more. All right.
You want me to give you a win?
Yeah, oh yeah, Jake,
I
tell
feel
me
like you
something.
should give us a win too.
Okay, you go first.
I got a lead from a new agent
Ooh,
yesterday, actually, so.
ooh, which one? Which agent?
Adam Swenson,
Okay,
yeah, kind of random.
good old Adam Swenson.
He's
Yeah.
a funny guy, but
So
just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been here for like a decade. Sells a
So-
bunch of land.
Oh, he's just new agent to you.
new agent to me,
Not
yes.
Yeah, it's new to you.
I mean, I've known him, because I've been working in the building for a year now, but
New
He was-
agent working with you.
he just randomly was like, hey, here's this lead. I'm like, cool,
Cool.
just being friendly, you know. It's all I
Let's
did.
see. What are my wins? I have a lot that I'm pondering on. I don't know what they're gonna turn into.
Ryan found the
Deal. It's like, here's my question is when do you sell anything? If you have a rental property, when do you
Oh, you're
sell it to
selling.
try to go buy another one?
But why would you
Because-
sell it? Why would you just point that? Or is it not enough to buy?
Well, our interest rates are like 3%. And so to go pull out equity, we would have a lot of money. Like, I don't think it would cash flow because the interest rate would go up, our payment would go up. We pull out some money, like, I don't know. Thought we had a friend. Get out of here, Tanner. Yeah. I forget.
All I know is you live Boston all the time.
Yeah,
I should, it's always been something.
okay, so the early morning class that's going on Tuesdays, 9:30 early. We are doing the Millionaire Real Estate Agent series. Have you read it? Nice. So we just did the economic model last Tuesday. This Tuesday would be, I don't know what we're doing, lead generation, hopefully. So,
I'm also with the one thing which he makes it seem like it's so easy to be an agent, but I know it's not, but he did a good
Yeah.
job.
it's simple, it's not easy.
Yeah,
That's the problem. Team meeting on Tuesday. Hunter and Ovalie are gonna go over command and preparing to get paid, so things that you should do. Make sure you're making money. And then on Friday, we have connect with your market. Who's doing that? I literally was just looking at that. Let's see. Oh, Angie. Angie's doing that one.
Fisher, huh?
And Angie Fisher.
Making a return.
Yeah, she was. What?
where do you see that?
I have a spreadsheet.
Oh.
And I swiped over. She actually used to be the productivity coach before me. So just coming back to teach, connect with your market. Should be a good one.
Love Angie.
All right, Jake,
Okay,
here's your mortgage moment. I'll even
well.
point you to the
Thank
camera.
you. My prompter. Well, the idea today was to just let new agents know that, so nothing profound, but I'm always available, so I'm very good at picking up my phone or responding to messages. And as a new agent, you're always gonna have questions or things that come up, scenarios. Can I do this? Can I not do this? If, if maybe your other mentor that's a real estate agent or somebody else can't pick up the phone or answer the question, like, I love receiving phone calls and getting those questions, so I can help you understand it better.
I feel like 90% of the time that I come in to ask questions to you, I end up just knowing the answers. I just needed to like voice it all out and you just kind of like
That's all right.
catch it.
Reassure you, or maybe frame it in a different way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, it's good to have two loan officers that are at different companies.
Some people say that it's a rule that you have to get paid something, like my dad has people that
Yeah.
only give him.
Is that a rule in real
and
estate?
then-
No,
I don't, it's not.
it's
so
it's
rule,
not a
but it's
real
like to
rule.
get you safe or whatever.
Yep.
sometimes. But like what some people do is they'll give them to people and say, I highly suggest this. And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, the way that I say it is, let me send you over to Jake, he's my favorite. If for whatever reason you want another opinion to shop him, or you don't like him, I have other loan officers, just let me know. And so you could say something like that, so I'm not steering them to Jake, which is bad. I'm suggesting they use him, and if they don't wanna use him. And I always say, it's fine if you get your own quote or whatever, I just know a whole bunch of these people, so. Like, having a second opinion is also nice. You get your second opinion, you got your second loan officer. Keep your dad honest, giving out good rates.
Like 100% go to your dad every time. If you're in a pinch, like you're in the office, cause I'm here just pretty much every day. I'm upstairs. What's that?
This is your office,
Not even secretly. We have an office
Not secret.
upstairs.
so you just don't go to your actual.
We have,
It's here.
it's here. Our actual office is here. So if you're just like here and you need a quick answer, I'm up like on the second floor on the back side.
Questions, I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
You definitely will have a lot of questions, so. Well, thank you, Jacob.
Yep.
Is that your real name? Jacob. Yeah.
Jacob, yeah.
Okay, next team meeting. Have you ever heard of Mega Camp? It is, Gary Keller puts it on, he interviews a bunch of top agents that are doing something the very best. He's also bringing in like some awesome guest speakers from outside of real estate, and I am going.
Is this the one that's in Texas?
Yep, I'm gonna be in Austin. I leave on Sunday and I get home Wednesday night. And then I am gonna bring all of my thoughts and brain dump them all on you on what the best agents are doing in our market right now that we have, like not this, the Utah market, but like this crazy market that we are in. So come to that. Then like always, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, we'll do power up. Gosh, I wish there's more people have questions about this.
I want to drink the
Yeah, don't crash. But it's Zoom, if you just want to turn it on rather than a podcast, you can listen to me ramble about something. And then this week, Thursday, today, at 1 o'clock, we're gonna go over CMAs. So come to that at 1. And then next week, we're gonna talk about showings. So how do you set that up, send those out, get them involved, open a super box, those kind of things. So that would be next week. And then if you did your case study, Jeanette's here for 1 o'clock. You could even send that to her. She'll look at it today. Oh, by hand. Yeah, that might change.
And in our printer. but I-
Freaking printers, I hate it.
But there was a video on the web on how to connect to the printer, but it was like an outdated thing, so when I went to do it on the website, everything was different. So I couldn't follow it. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, make Nicole print it for you. She'll do that real easy. And then Hunter's got his office hours. Oh yeah, Nicole's at the front desk. She's super nice. You should talk to her. Okay. I have a script challenge for you. Let's pretend that you set a listing appointment. You're so excited. It's your mom's friend from high school. I don't know, I'm making this up. You go all the way through like everything and you're talking about price. And you say, I think you should sell your house for 700,000. She said, I talked to another agent that said they could sell it for more than that.
Why would I be talking to her about what I did to our house for and not some?
Well, you're trying to get her to sign right now.
Oh, okay, we're like.
Yeah.
Having that.
Yeah, we are in that
Oh,
appointment and she says, I think you could, or I talked to another agent that could sell it for more than that.
I would probably say something along the lines of getting your house listed at the correct price is what's gonna make it sell better, and also I can provide more for you on eager. I'm new, so you're like my main client, so all my focus will be on you. I don't know, like, I don't know what else I would say, but
Yeah,
it's.
I like the
it's
start of that.
It's not really about the list price, it's about everything I can offer along with helping.
Yes.
So everyone can say they can list your house for more, but like that's not really even a good thing.
Yeah, I always joke around when they say this, but my first question is when someone had this question is, oh, did they sit down and meet with you like we're doing? Like if we're in an appointment, and someone's like, oh, another agent said they could list my house for $50,000 more. That's always my first question. Did they come to your house and sit down like this? I want to know that for a few reasons. Number one, I want to know, do I have competition or did they just talk to some other agent on the phone? And I need to lock down the listing tonight so that in the future, they're not gonna like meet with other agents to try to like cut me out or something. So that's the first one. If they say no, and I'm like, okay, they're just probably making up an estimate. Maybe homes in this area might be around that or similar homes, but it sounds like they haven't done their homework or things like that. If they say yes, they've met with me or they've come by my house or anything like that, then that's when I always joke with them and I'm like, oh, I'll list it for $50,000 more than that. Oh, you know what? I'll list it for $1 million more than that. And it's like the price that we're listing it at doesn't matter because that's not the price it's gonna sell for. Price it's gonna sell for is what the market dictates, and we need to like educate the clients that I don't come up with the market value, the market does. So if the other agent said $50,000 more, maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. I might be $50,000 under, but the one thing that I am positive of is that I am going to get the most amount of money for the price. And then sometimes we'll dive into how that would work. Like, so let's say that I'm $50,000 too low. By the way, you can leave if you don't hang out, or you can hang out with us.
If I'm dismissed, I do have some things. I
Yeah,
can go.
go sell some loans.
Appreciate it. You guys want anything before I take it off?
No, I'm good. So you could ask them like, okay, like, let's imagine that we priced, what could we sell? Let's sell a car,
Okay.
but we priced it like 50 grand under, like, let's sell a Cybertruck, let's go crazy. Okay, they're like $100,000 or something. Let's say that we priced it for $50,000. What would end up happening?
Well, as far as cars go, if it was that low, I'd be like, what's wrong with it?
Yeah, so you think that, what else? If I'm like, oh no, it's brand new, they dropped it off and I decided I don't like how it looks,
Yeah, it's safer.
then you would try to buy it. Every single person would try to do that exact same thing.
Wow.
So then everyone's calling you, and what do you think I probably could end up selling it for? Cause not everyone's gonna be like, oh, I'll buy this, and I'll be, everyone else is saying that, I'll pay 20 grand more,
Right.
I'll pay 30 grand more than what you're offering. And all of a sudden, I'm at the market value. Someone will, with houses, yes,
Yes.
not with the Cybertruck. Yeah,
Alright.
if you see it,
Yeah.
if you list too low, you just have to give everyone enough time to see it. To make sure that they're getting in their offers.
Okay.
So that's why I like to list on like a Wednesday or a Thursday, and you usually won't accept offers till Monday. But like, if you list a house $100,000 too low. Everyone will get so excited and come and see it, and then everyone bids it up and you end up selling it for market value. Now let's flip the script and list the house $100,000 over. Or we have a Cybertruck that we list for 150 rather than 100 that it's worth. You're not gonna get anyone to come through. And then we're gonna lower it to 140, then 130, then 120, then 110, and then maybe someone comes and sees it and offers us 100. So we're getting fewer and fewer people. So if we started $50,000, $100,000 overpriced, then yeah, we are just sitting there. And then what's your first question when a home's been on the market for 100 days? Why? There's something wrong with this. No one is making offers for this house that has been on the market 100 days. So we don't want that. So in my case, in my thinking, underpricing is better than overpricing, because overpricing brings more problems and no offers. Underpricing brings all of the offers, and we can bid it up. Either way, we end up at market value. So it doesn't matter what an agent says they could sell it for, it's all made up. And we'll talk more at the CMA class. So let's talk about the 36 touch. I have a little calendar thing for you here. Do you know the 36 touch is?
Like what each touch is supposed to be.
No, but the idea behind it.
Like, same color.
Yep,
It's the same color.
yeah. If I were to say, think of a brand of chips. Got one in your mind? You thought of Doritos, Cheetos, Lay's. What? Pringles? Ruffles? No one thinks about Ruffles. You ruined my magic trick. So generally, how it works, people think Lay's.
Cheetos was my next one.
Yeah,
So,
people think Lay's. Doritos is the next most common. It's becoming more common lately.
it's like 3 chips.
And then, yeah, well, you
They're all
don't eat
spicy
anything.
chips. I eat hot Cheetos and I
Yep.
eat flaming barbecue Ruffles. Those are so good. Lots of red 40, which is awful for you, but it's fine.
So the idea here is when you walk into the chip aisle, there's like 100 different chips. You just thought of one. Same idea. People know hundreds of different people. They probably have a handful of real estate agents in their phone book, kind of an idea. So who are they going to call first when they have a question? Who would they call next? If
Then
you
call the Doritos person.
the Doritos agent. It's all about Cool Ranch. That's the best one. So that's what we want to do. And we want to give people the opportunity to think like, oh, maybe I should do this. Like, so I heard from homes.com, the CEO came to it's called Family Reunion Conference, and he said that the average American is going to see 200 commercials for homes.com this year.
From home stuff.
Mhm. For like homes.com commercial. That's what they'll see. So when you think like, okay, you as a brand, how many times are you going to put your message forward? that you are the real estate agent of choice. They should call you rather than go to like a homes.com and use whatever agent pops up there. When homes.com is investing hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, into growing the business. So our touch plan is a lot simpler. So I wanted to kind of discuss some of this. So his model says you make 4 phone calls, do 26 emails, 2 events, and 4 mailers. Here's the whole concept behind this. So you have prospecting and marketing, like this is the lead generation. You go to an open house, you door knock, you whatever you're doing to generate leads. And then whenever you capture them, they are either going to be leads or contacts. Leads are people that you don't really know. In the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, he calls them non-mets. So you randomly met them at an open house, you don't really know them. They registered on your website, they said on a Facebook ad, like, yeah, I want to buy this house, whatever. So your goal is to try to connect with them to become contacts. These are people that you know, and then you can interact with them. What's up, Austin? So you find the people, you capture them somehow, and then you connect with them. When you're connecting with them, there's gonna be kind of 2 types of people. There's gonna be people that are just there, that aren't buying or selling. You know, like, think about like your friends right now. You probably have a lot of friends that are not buying or selling homes and are not going to for a few years.
My circle's really small.
Yeah, they're small. You're young still too. But then you think of like,
I have like all my mom's friends and my ward contacts. That's
Yeah.
what I have.
yeah. So there's the people that fundamentally are not buying and selling right now. And that's fine, because not everyone buys and sells right now. Then you have people that are like somewhere in the process, whether it's like, ooh, what if we sold our house? Or I would love to buy a house. And so those are the people that you're cultivating. So we need to, you'll notice it says interactive and value-based touch programs, interactive and action-based touch programs. So with the contacts, we add value. With the people we're cultivating, we want them to take an action. So I can think of things that are valuable and getting them to take an action, you know, like, are you interested in your home's value? That is an action, but it's also a value. People care what their home's worth, but it's them taking a little bit of an action. So then you cultivate them, and when they're finally ready, you go on an appointment, then they're an active buyer or seller, they go under contract, they close, and they become a contact again. So the whole kind of cycle, and you've probably seen this is the buying point. And then this is the likelihood they're gonna buy. The higher up, the more likely they're gonna buy. At some point, boom, they bought. And then they go down the mountain and they hit this valley where they're not likely to buy at all. What you need to do is do touches all the way through.
Right. Oh, we know.
Yep, most people focus right here. Kind of looks like football.
But if you're focusing.
But if you're focused here, then this is the natural step. So you don't, like, if you see someone on Facebook that just said, I just bought a home. Great, well, they're just on this down, and it's probably more dramatic, it's probably up and then straight down. Right, like that. Looks like music. So if they're like, I just bought a home, I am right here. It's like, great, you're not gonna buy a home. Probably. So let's keep doing all of our touches, and then one day it's gonna go up and they're gonna buy a home with us, rather than try to find a new agent when they're in this ready phase.
What percentage of people, if they bought a home, will always use the first agent they ever bought? Is that a thing?
Sort of.
I know some people, they're like, we bought a home and they're great, we wouldn't imagine moving anywhere else, even if we're not concerned by
Yes.
right time.
90% of people say that. 12% of people do.
Actually end up using.
Uh-huh. Now, that could be skewed a whole lot of ways because the average person lives in their house 10 years. So imagine. Like 10 years from now, are you still gonna be selling houses? A great example, Johnny Christensen, right? He's the regional director here. 10 years ago, he sold one of his mission companions a house. I know because I did all of the work. And I literally showed him a new construction house. Johnny told me to write the offer, and then I walked him all the way through. I even showed up at the closing table. Like, I did all of the work, but Johnny got all of the credit. Well, they have probably moved since then, but Johnny does not really sell houses anymore because he is managing brokerages and doing a regional director job. He has a team, he's got all these other companies, like he's doing other things. So he probably even passed that to someone else. If they worked with it, maybe it's Clay, maybe it's someone on the Red Sign team, kind of an idea. So now they just close someone. So even though he's in real estate, he's not still closing them. But maybe he didn't keep in contact with them well enough to not do it. So let's talk about that for a second. 90% of people say, I'm gonna use this agent, 12% do. If you stay in the business, why do you think that there's a gap there? Like, let's imagine all of these agents stay in the business for 10 years. Where are you missing out?
Contacts.
One time, I was sitting at the front desk, like over a lunch period, kind of an idea, like they needed just someone sitting there. Someone came in and said, hey, I just went under contract and I have an earnest money check to drop off. And I said, oh, awesome. Who's your agent? And he went, I can't remember their name, but this is the address of the house. And I think about that person often. What are the chances that that agent got a referral or did business with that person again? Like probably zero. They couldn't even name their agent after going under contract. They had probably gone out and saw houses a couple of times. They probably met at an appointment. They had a group text going on. Like, think of all of the things, and this person didn't even have a name to them. So if their friend was like, oh, you're buying a house, do you like your agent? And they're like, yeah, I love my agent. They're like, oh, great, I'd love to work with them. And like, I don't know their name. Like, you're not going to get referrals. So there's a handful of reasons that probably make sense on why people don't use their same agent. But I think you're right, Austin, that the biggest one is that they don't remember. They're not thinking about them. They're on to the next. So that's the whole idea here, is we are going to stay on top of them with some of these touches. So I have our little calendar here that we are going to start to fill out on what we are going to do for the rest of the year for our touches. So let's start with events, because this one's really easy and really hard all at the same time. So what's a good real estate event? Have you guys heard of any? Parade of Homes. How could you take advantage of Parade of Homes as an event so that you get business specifically?
Well, you could get people, even if people aren't like, there is a lot of people who still like to go see houses, and then once they see houses, they're like, oh, maybe I do want to buy, maybe I do actually want a home that has this in it, or they're thinking about like investing. And I don't know, this is all based off of what my dad says about flipping it. Be a real.
Yes,
'Cause I
that
hear
probably is
everything
all
he
why.
says, and it's
So-
probably-
Let me back up for a quick second here. So there's this pyramid of communication that you guys might have heard of. So, I don't know, I'm thinking of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That's very similar to
Oh,
this.
that's not what we're talking,
Yeah,
that's what I was.
it's kind of like that, but for like relationships, right? The very best that you could possibly do is a one-on-one. Like, think about the relationship building you get with one-on-one. Like, think of back when you were dating or while you're dating, if you only ever went on group dates. You never had like one-on-one time, like that would probably not end in a marriage. Because you never had the one-on-one time. Yeah, yeah. That's the best part about being married is when after your group things, you're like, okay, group, go away. And we're just gonna hang out by ourselves. It's the worst part about kids.
I'll get to experience that.
One day. So then as you could imagine, we're gonna go to like a group scenario, like face to face is better than not. And then you might go down to like a call or a text, an email, a billboard. Like, yeah, flyer. Yeah, maybe social media is here. I don't know where some of this bottom all lays. Like, if I post on my social media, is that better than me sending you an email? Like, maybe.
One-on-one's best, group is second, but then after that it's a face.
Yeah, I would say call, like voice, you're gonna build a better relationship having conversations. So, cause even past this text, like social media, that is not a conversation. That is a look at this, or here's this, same with an email. You might get a response back, but we typically don't communicate back and forth with social media or email. Definitely don't do it through a billboard. Like, I'm not gonna post a billboard of me saying something and then have the rest of the billboards on my drive back be like my friends posting billboards for me to have a communication. I'm not gonna drop a flyer off at someone's door and then they're gonna do the same back to me. So if you can live higher up on this pyramid, the better off you're going to be for relationships. Right? If people do business with their relationship, people they're in relationship with, we want to be in better relationships. So that's why events. So that would probably not be a one-on-one, that's probably in this group category, right? So our Keller Williams actually does 2 events a year that we put together, organize and run for you. You pay per person that comes. So we have this Keller Williams Fall Festival, we call it. The 24th of September, 4:30 to 7:30 at Jakers in Springville. That's south. Couldn't decide which way was south. You give wristbands to people to come in. It costs, I think it's $8.50 per person that comes. So if you want to send a couple there for date night, you're $17. If you want them to bring their kids, like my family, I have 5 kids. So if I wanted to bring my whole family to this, I'd have to do math. 7, yeah, 7 times, yeah.
Hey, tickets are $8.50 and it's for half off, so.
Yep.
Oh, it's worth it.
And you can run this however you want. So a lot of people, when they think of a real estate event, they think I need to do all of this. But a lot of the times it's an excuse for you to reach out to people and you have organized a fun time for people. Like if you ever had your friend call and be like, hey, let's go to this movie and we're gonna go to dinner here. And you're like, cool, I'm in, let's go. You don't expect your friends to pay for your movie and pay for your dinner. That would be nice if that happened, but you're just like, you're kind of happy that the weekend was planned for you. Like I have an event that I'm gonna go do.
So
You could do that too. Yep. Yep, you could do something like that. Or you can decide, you know what, I'm gonna gift them the ticket because there's this idea called the law of reciprocity. If you give someone something, they're gonna give you something back. And so if you call someone and say, hey, I rented out Jakers and I'm throwing a real estate event for my real estate marketing, I would like to give you some tickets. They feel in debt to you and they would like to make that right. If you can either directly or indirectly suggest, send me referrals and business, and we will be square, then they will do things like that. It is a great way to get business. So some of the ideas here that we could put down, I know people that have done things like photos with Santa. Super easy event. You go find a Santa. They're usually $200-300 for a night. A lot of teams will even do it in the large training room, get some coloring things, set up a little backdrop, and Santa sits there and people come in. You can do first time home buying seminars. So again, you could do it here, and you just plan it out. Like, how does a first time home buyer get into a house? What do they need to know? You can get a little, yep.
My dad.
So it'd be so easy. So you could be like, hey, Dad, let's do this together. You both stand up there, seem like the expert, but most of the questions that first time home buyers have are about mortgages. That's the thing that holds them back from buying their first house. Either I don't have a down payment, or I can't make that monthly payment, or I don't qualify, or I don't know any of those. But if they know all of those, then they're like, okay, let's go shopping. It can happen. So you can partner with someone, right? Like a lender would be great. You can do, I call them micro events. For example, I do Pizza Friday. Every Friday night, I get pizza. It's just what me and my wife have decided, because I want it multiple times in the week, and she has limited it to once. So Friday is pizza night. So we will randomly invite friends over for Pizza Friday, and it's different pizza. Like, we could go with like Domino's, Little Caesars, the pie, or we have a little pizza oven that we could cook pizza. And so we'll just invite friends over and be like, hey, we're doing pizza. Do you want to come over? Bring the family. We just hang out. Super easy. Game night, fun things like this. There is an agent, Kevin Helps. He is like King of the Nerds kind of an idea. He plays D&D. He's a dungeon master, and he has sold houses to a bunch of people he plays D&D with, because they are just friends. So he has like these game nights that he puts on, things like that. I have a buddy who does a poker night, like once a month, once every other month. I sold him a house, and I've sold multiple people that do the poker night houses. And I could do my own poker night. The whole idea is like, you're getting people together. So I think of an event is you need to be the leader and organizer, not the one that funds the event. In an ideal world, the event costs you $0. Even an example of this, the Red Sign team, every year they do an Easter egg hunt. It costs about $10,000 to put on the way that they do it. They go crazy. It's 20,000. Stuff, $10,000. It costs them about $2,000 to $3,000 out of their pocket to put on, because they get lenders to sponsor it, they get people to help, they just grab other vendors that want to kind of ride the coattails, and that pays for all of it, most of it. There's teams that get profit out of their events because people want to just be there, like Jake. He mentioned today a big win that he got a new agent that sent him a lead. He got one lead and he's excited about it. If you're like, hey, I have 100 people sitting in a room, do you want to talk to them about being a lender, and any leads that you get, yours? I think that's an awesome thing. So sometimes we think too big with events. I want you to reel it in and bring it and figure out, how could you do something either that you're already doing and just involve people, or how can you make them pay for themselves? So right now you have your little thing here. What event could you do, or events could you do for the rest of the year that you could either A, afford, or B, figure out how to get people to pay for themselves? And then when would that be? And while you're doing that, I wanna look up how much Jakers actually cost.
It's like $3 a pop. I'm just kidding.
Gosh, that was what I thought it was. Little Jakers Pumpkin Patch, is that?
Well, if you're getting a pumpkin when you go, it's probably just the price. But what that.
Yeah.
Sorry, when was the pumpkin patch happening?
September 24th. Even under your free, let's say that. Entry includes all activities. So how much is entry? I bet you're getting it at a slight discount. That would be good to know.
Okay, what time is it?
4 to 7:30. Dumb website. Maybe if I watch what you get when you're farmers. It's not your main thing. Okay. So with your event, September 24th, that's Tuesday. By the way, 2 weeks from today, we're going to talk about marketing for events because you should probably start 2 weeks from today. Marketing for that event. What else would you do during the year? What'd you put?
Scary movie nights.
Ooh.
Halloween.
Do something for Halloween. I like that. You could literally throw a Halloween party. That is only bad if you spent money on food. It goes bad.
But it's also bad. If people show up.
It's the worst case scenario is if like one person shows up. If no one shows, like if you could call everyone that you know about Jakers and everyone's like, oh, thanks for the invite, but I can't go. That's the best case scenario. Because you spend $0 and you get this high value touch that you can give to someone saying, let's do this. So, yeah.
It's probably too soon. My dad has a barbecue. And
Oh, yeah.
they do like cotton candy and multiple trucks. It's a band.
That's cool.
Nice.
Mihai.
It's where they do music in the park and all that stuff. It's that big.
Oh,
park in the
yeah.
park, that whole distance.
Yeah.
That part they do. I usually just go with the daughter and the lender.
Now you're the real estate agent. So figure out how you can just get people together. And what people would like. And we'll talk more about like a whole rollout plan. But the concept here is when you have an event, you get to call people. That's a super easy call. Hey, I'm calling you because I rented out Jakers for my real estate team. Would you like tickets at a discount or for free or however you decide to do it to go and get a pumpkin and hang out with the family? It's going to be the 24th of September. Cool. I'll put you down as an RSVP. Keep me posted. then you can send out an email, you can send out a mailer, like you can send out text, so you can do like a whole marketing campaign around events that makes everything else about the 36 touch very easy. So figure out what you could do. The best thing you can do is put these things on a calendar and then backdate them on how you're going to get people to attend them. What is your marketing plan to get people there? It is a little bit different because you're not marketing for real estate, you're marketing for an event. And if you can include like a line that's like, who do you know looking to buy or sell a house that I should call and invite to this event as well? Something like that is an easy way to get referrals. So pay attention to those kind of times where you could ask for something like that. Let's talk about mailers. This is my least favorite part of the whole thing. Mailers. The reason I hate it is it 100% costs money. There's no way that you can get around a mailer without costing money. The classic mailer that they talk about is a postcard, which costs maybe like 50 cents to $1 to make, maybe $2.50, depending on how nice you go. And then you have to spend money to send it, which is like 50 cents to $1, depending on how many you're sending out. So it costs you money. If you do cards, I would do just like the classic kind of things. Get out a Christmas or Thanksgiving cards, something like that. If you wanted to do it around these events, you can send out a mailer around an event and send them a little birthday card. With the birthday card, I would actually make it handwritten. When was the last time you received a handwritten card from someone on your birthday?
On my birthday.
A last birthday. Was it your dentist that did it? Because my dentist seems to send me a birthday card. Yeah.
That was my aunt's.
Someone that you have a close relationship. You don't really typically do that to a stranger. Like, you're gonna write some nice little message. Like, you would be excited to get something like that. Like, oh, that's a million times better than a text message. Like, you actually thought of someone. So that's a great one. It's real hard to scale. So you might have to send it out, like figure out every week who has birthdays that week and write all of them on a Monday and send them all out. And if it's a little bit early or a little bit late, you look awesome.
Sorry, does it
yeah.
take like 2 years to break even or become profitable from sending mailers?
That is true of strangers. So if we pick like these apartment complexes behind us that are owned and said, we're just going to send them mailers every 3 weeks, it would probably take 2 years to break even then.
Mhm.
Sending it to your sphere, you will probably get a great response.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because people don't get anything in the mail. It's unique. The other thing that's cool about it, it's a real easy ask to get people's addresses. A lot of the times, especially if they own a house, like you could look it up. If they don't own a house, it's real hard to find where people live. And it's kind of an awkward question like, hey, what's your address? But if you're like, hey, where are you living? I'd love to send you something. Every year you get an updated address to make sure it's cool. Like, hey, I'm going to send you something for your birthday. Are you still living at this place? Like, it gives you an easy conversation, whether it's just text or call. Whatever. If you are going to skip something, skip this, replace it with something else. Up your emails, up your events, up your calls, up your texts, social media, billboard, whatever. Emails. So the plan is 26 emails, which maths out to be every other week. It sounds like homework. Every other week, you need to put together an email and send it out to everyone that you know their email. And it needs to be valuable enough that they don't unsubscribe. Like, that's the minimum bar, is you don't feel like you're bugging them, so they don't unsubscribe. So a whole bunch of the ideas that I have done in the past are just sending them houses. This is my very favorite one. right? You can set them up on a search, or the neighborhood nurture, which literally looks like this. This is screenshots from my email. This is all the same email. So the top is on the left, where it's like, hey, this is from Johnny on the Red Sign team, because that's his logo that he put there. Hey, Cameron, check out the updates on your neighborhood. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. Every 2 weeks, I get that email right from him. It shows a little map of the neighborhood, some quick stats, and then all the listings. And that is what the neighborhood nurture looks like. To set this up, because we did this as a test for me, which is why he's sending it to me. We added me as a contact. And then we clicked add to neighborhood nurture. It says, what's the address? And it automatically did it. Or if you know about where they live, you can zoom in on a map and choose the address or choose the neighborhood. And that's it. So easy. And then they're set up, easy to go. You can do that with a saved search as well. So like, if you were to move, where would you move? And set them up, and in command, you can do every 2 weeks. As like a time that it sends them. You could send them a market update. I know a lot of agents that do this. One of the great things is UCAR sends out an email every month with the stats from the MLS. Maybe it's the MLS that sends it. I don't know if it's UCAR or the MLS, but you will get an email once a month that has this nice little graphic of stats. How many homes are on the market? How does that compare to the month before? What's the average home price? How does that compare? Kind of an idea. Days on market, how does that compare? You could just grab that, either make your own little graphic, make an email about it, or just copy their graphic and paste it right in. A lot of agents will do like things to do, like what to do as summer's ending. Yep. And then you just go look for other events that are already happening and you just market them. And then you can show.
Her handle is your,
Jen Jorgensen.
yeah, she's good.
Yep.
Special.
Yep. By the way, reuse other marketing in all things that you do, right? If you find all these events and you post them to your social media, super easy to add them into an email. If you are making reels that are super funny and you laugh hard at them, include them in your email marketing. If you just make, like, for a while, we were highlighting cities and we would do a video of a city. We'd have a videographer go record drone videos, highlight some of the biggest businesses, where people go, things like that. And we would send those out, like, check out like Lehigh video or whatever. And we send them to random people in the city even, like, so reuse some of this market. If you're doing an open house, say, come visit me at my open house. Like, some people will send that as their full email. I know a lot of people that have a lot of success of sending out the coolest listings that they can find. There was an agent, his name's Jimmy Rex. He was at our brokerage for a real long time. I don't even know how much real estate he sells anymore because he is like on to bigger and better investments. But anyway, for years, his email campaign was this week's top 10 buys, is what he calls it. And every Monday, he would send out an email of the top 10 deals that he thinks he found. And it would say something like Lehigh, 3-bedroom, $400,000. And it was just a list of 10 houses like that. He would sell houses. He would have people respond to them. He would have agents asking to get on his best buy email list. And he would just send out 10 houses that he thought were good deals. And that's all he did. I mean, he called FSBOs, he called expireds, he had events, like he did all of the things, but his whole email was, let's find 10 houses, send them all out. Very little information. He'd do some little blurb on the top, a list of the 10 homes, some little blurb on the bottom. And sometimes it was the same blurb. Like, if you're in the market looking to buy, if one of these works, reach out. If one of these doesn't, I'd love to sit down and talk to you about what you're looking for.
We can use, if one of the houses was still on the market the next week, just Site, keep them up there.
I don't think he ever did that. Sometimes they were sold though, like under contract, he would put them and by the time people would reach out, he'd be like, oh, sorry, this one's already gone. Yep, it was such a good deal that it's gone. So I think we need to get more aggressive. Why don't you come into my office? Let's meet. And they'd say, okay, and then he'd sell them a house. So there's a lot of ideas for emails. The easy button is to send them houses. The simple button is to send them houses. You set it up once, but you have to set it up. So you have to have a conversation of, do you want me to send you homes in your neighborhood? Or do you want me to send you homes where you would move or dream homes or whatever? You have to have that conversation and then go set it up in command. Then it is running forever. It gives you a reason to check back in and talk to them about that too. If you ever hear questions that other people say that their clients are asking, those are also great things to put in there. So there's this guy, Rory Vaden is his name. He talks about the content diamond. Here's his whole strategy for all of this stuff. He says that every week you should record a 7-minute video answering a question that someone has asked you or you have heard. And then you take that video and that goes on YouTube. You post it as a podcast. You slice it up and becomes reels. You can take quotes out of it and those become Instagram and Facebook posts. You transcribe it and that becomes a blog. And then you email out pieces of it as email content. Like everything that you're doing all stems from one answer. And so sometimes you don't need to get creative. You just need to figure out, how do I put this in front of more people?
My problem is I feel like with social media, I wanted to start being like really active on there and like post videos and make my page look like a real estate page, because I have my main page and that's like, you know, cute girly stuff. I'm a teenager type of, you know, but then I have my real estate page and there's not anything else on there except for my stories of what I'm doing in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to start posting real stuff that actually bring value to my page, because I feel like I don't know what information to share because I don't know.
Yeah. How could you use that as like a strength? Like use it for a positive. Like I'm thinking like a journey, you know, like your journey, how you could help others go on a.
I guess I see some people like saying, I'm real estate, help me learn as I help me learn about others.
I don't like to highlight the newness. Because, so you two both specifically have probably come to more trainings than most new agents do in a year.
I feel like I've been to like 3 things,
Yeah.
minus the 2 meetings.
So most other brokerages don't do anything. So like they lean on UCAR having that new agent course and the ethics training that you have to go to. That is 90% of what brokerages lean on. And then the rest is like, can you ask questions to someone else in real estate? It's like you are probably further than most people that got into real estate at the exact same time that you did, in terms of knowledge and things like that. So, and some people, they get into real estate and then don't do anything. There are agents that I have met with that signed into our brokerage and that kind of have just ghosted. They're here, they have plans to get into real estate, but they have a job or they are doing something else, life is busy, whatever it is, and they just can't come to anything. So then they do maybe a deal in a year or two, and that they only learn for that specific deal. So if someone's like, I've been in real estate for 2 years, That doesn't mean anything because someone that's been in a month could have as much knowledge as someone that's been in 2 years. So I'm against the newness thing. Like, I'm new. Because,
Good to something always.
Yeah. and you have people that are very experienced all around you.
I feel like I'm good about doing stuff in here, but then as far as outside. So I'm good in here, but on the outside, like I'm not.
Yeah, that's why we're gonna finish this calendar. Okay, let's talk about calls real fast before we fill out more of our calendar here. Can we just admit that this is the hardest part? Like if I said, hey, I want you guys to write an email right now and send it to everyone in command that has an email address. It's like, yes. On a scale of 1 to 10, how scary would that be? Assuming you had like 50 to 100 emails.
Calls are always the hardest. I have a stats job right now. All like, so it sucks.
Yes.
But it gets you the business and it gets you busy. I saw Cutco.
Mm.
But you make the call and the call sucked, but then you get to go do the contract job to show and hang out. For an hour. And
Yeah.
but you get to make calls. And now it's like you're calling up to people who refer you to other people, so you don't even know them. So it's like, hey, I'm calling because so-and-so gave me your number. Like, I don't care. I don't know you. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've talked about a few of the very easy ways that phone calls can become easier, right? Let me send you some houses. That's one of your email strategies. That's an easy phone call to make. Hey, I just got into real estate. I would start out like that, not, hey, did you hear I got into real estate? Hey, you probably saw that I got into real estate. Like, put it back on them if they don't know. I've been sending out homes to everyone that I know to keep them informed in the market. Would you like me to send you homes in your neighborhood so you can keep up to date with your neighborhood? Or would you like me to send you homes of where you're likely to move? And that could be an easy call that you make to everyone. Events. Hey, I'm doing this pumpkin patch event for my real estate business. Do you want some tickets at a discount? Whatever. Other scripts to make this really easy is the can you help me? People love to help other people, especially in Utah. We're like the most helpful state. Mark Rober did this test, side note. He created 10 fake wallets. He put money in there. It was from a different country. It said $100 on it, but it was worth like 50 cents kind of a thing. And then he put like a business card and like some sort of fake ID kind of an idea. So it all looked important. And he left 10 wallets randomly throughout states. And he judged which states like reached out to return the wallet. Because there was like a if found, call this number kind of a thing. Utah was the only state that returned all 10. And then it was like Idaho and Arizona, Colorado, everyone all around us was real nice, but Utah was 10 for 10, best state. So this can you help me script works amazingly. Hey, can you help me? As you heard, I just got into real estate. If you ever hear of anyone looking to buy or sell, will you let me know so that I can earn their business? Something like that. Super easy. The other thing, and this is from Phil Jones, is one of the ways to start a phone call is with a mutual agreeable fact. And the easiest fact is it's been blank long since we talked, since we saw each other. It's a weird thing to say for some people, but it's like no one can really like change it. Man, it's been 5 years since we talked. Isn't that crazy? How have you been? Just opens up the whole conversation because it's not, man, why is this person calling me after so long? It's like, yeah, it has been so long.
I feel like maybe I'm just a new person, because if people call me saying that, I'm like, what do you want?
Well, what do
Not
you
like-
want? Yeah,
Not like people that I'm actually good off with, but it's like, if it's someone that I hardly had a relationship with, maybe it was more of an acquaintance, I'm like, why are you calling me? I don't know you.
yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it's been a long time because you've never talked to me really.
This works really well with people that you were friends with. If you were acquaintance, like,
Like high school, like we had a class here. Okay.
yeah, like if you were to now call Jake in a year and be like, hey, Jake, it's Mariah, remember? We were in that one meeting together?
And I would drink Red Bulls.
Yeah. His first thought would be like, oh yeah, I remember you, or I have no idea who you are, but what do you want? Yeah,
See, that's I'm fine with,
but if you have some sort of a relationship or had some sort of a relationship, just saying, it's been months, years, decades. One day you'll be able to get to say that. I tell my friends that all the time, like, have I even seen you in a decade?
I feel like they're soon, no, only in a decade, not two yet.
You can round to 2.
I called someone yesterday that I hadn't seen in, well, I was like, hey, how long has it been since we talked? 6 years? He's like, besides your wedding 2 years ago? And I was like, I saw you then, but we didn't really get a chance to talk.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I didn't see it. But
Yeah, that's the hardest part with this script. Is if you're like, man, it's been like 5 years. It's like, dude, I saw you last year. We hung out. Like, oh,
Well, it's felt like forever, I've missed you.
yeah, that's a good recovery. I like that. Man, it feels longer than that. I've missed you. Now, the default is to always come back to the Ford script.
Yeah.
Right? Family, occupation, recreations, dreams. You can do some of it or all of it. And it could be very easy questions. But that will build the relationship. If you ever get in an awkward scenario where you're like, I don't know what to talk about with this person. Say, how's the family? How's work? What have you done fun lately? You'll notice all small talk is something like that. Like when people come in after the weekend, I know when people are like, oh, what'd you do this weekend? I'm like, no, stop it. We don't need to do this. We can just be friends. But like, that's a common thing. What'd you do this weekend? Well, that's the R that they're fishing for. You know, now that it's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, people will always say, what are you doing this weekend? That's the D. Dreams. Yes. I like to talk about dreams too.
I don't remember. Probably.
Yeah, I almost said desires because someone said it. I didn't remember who it was. Okay. So let's draw out our calendar right now before you tell me your ahas and takeaways. So I always start with events because they are the big things. And mark on this calendar when these events will happen. You probably need 4 to 6 weeks for good marketing because you can send emails, you can do phone calls, you can do text messages, you can do a mailer, but I don't think they are necessary. So plan this out. What are you going to do? By the way, these are the letters for the DTD2. The 2 letters you should call each week for their last names. So what are we, the 8th? So today we're F and G. Start marking those out. Then, how are you going to do emails? What are you guys thinking? Oh yeah, definitely do that. Nicole at the front desk can help you. I haven't carried a business card for years. People always, the only people that are like, what, you don't have a business card? Are like other real estate agents and loan officers and stuff. And I'm like, no, but I'll tell you my phone number.
There's a digital business card.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Connor has one, he was showing us. And if you just like put it up against the phone, it like opens a URL that has all of his info. And there's a QR code on it that you can scan, something like that, I think is cool. Also, iPhones, if you like, just put them next to each other, like,
Yeah, I got this by low app, apparently that. You just,
But to, other people have to have that app too.
no, you can share it,
You pay for that?
no.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, hit the share button, and then we'll scan the QR code, and then. I don't know,
which one is that?
hello?
Oh, okay.
You say it's like your.
There's-
question.
There's one that's like, Popple or something, like people, but spelled Popple,
Hmm.
that I've used.
Yeah, this one is, it's on the like, there's a resource, I was looking through all of our resources, and. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, this is the one I know.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think if you got-
yeah,
that's the one I know.
yeah, I like things like that.
But we want to use this. Like,
Okay, emails, Austin, what's your game plan?
Is that something that I can set up easily in Command?
Yes, ooh, let me tell you the two other cheats. Cheat number one, in Command, there are smart plans. We did not talk about. There's the 36 touch smart plan. You have to go in and customize a few little things, tweak it just a little bit, but it is like 95% done. And it is a push play kind of a thing. You can add contacts to that really easily. The other little easy button, and I'm trying to work this out a little bit better, but currently, as of now, you can go up to Nicole at the front desk and say, I need emails every other week sent out. And she has a service that she creates the email and it just, I don't know if she gives it to you to send out or she sends it out. I don't know how it really works, but it's like $80 or something, super cheap to do. I'm trying to get that done for like everyone on the new agent team. And so maybe coming soon, that will be a thing.
Is that like just a general real estate?
Yep,
update?
it's like, here's a quick update of what's going on in Utah. I don't know where she's getting her info or anything, but she will do that whole thing.
Well,
indefinitely.
Yeah, every month she does it once or twice. I can't remember how many times, so.
What's a good place, this is like bouncing. Oh. What's a good place to get content information for social media, like? Cause I know you can watch other girls and steal their content and make it your own. But. you can use YouTube.
I do very little social media, but here's my plan. If I were to do it. What's that service called?
There's some people that pay for it, it's like $2 a month, but then your page just ends up looking like every other realtor's page.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
All realtors' pages are the exact same.
There's a service that you can look up what people are searching for in specific topics. And it's like the visual, it's like a wheel. And it says like, it has like what, how, when, why kind of questions. And then like each of those branch off. So it could be like, what is the current mortgage rate? Or what is an assumable loan? What is seller financing? And it has like all of these topics. And you start with like a keyword and then it fills out like 100 other things. And they're questions that people have asked on Google.
I'm also scared to just like access the single market.
Yeah. You could leave it generic, like a reach out to me or find something, but answering questions is typically a great idea. people love to see houses. I don't know if you guys follow Hunter. He did a couple of these with parade homes of really cool things. So you could get a whole bunch of ideas for questions to answer, and then you just have to make sure you actually have the right answer. Going to homes, new construction, really super easy to do this. Because they love to show off their homes and they're all staged and look nice. If you ever find an awesome home on the MLS, you can schedule a showing for yourself. If you are going to record yourself in a house, you should probably have permission from the listing agent to do something like that. You could probably get by without it, but if they find out, you will get in trouble. So probably don't gamble and just ask. And so it'd be like, hey, I'm setting up a showing for a buyer and I notice how awesome it is. Are you fine if I do like a video walkthrough for my Instagram at the same time? And show how your home is just awesome. And most agents will be like, yeah, I don't care. And then I don't know what else I would do for social media. Because the problem is you don't want to copy everyone else because you don't want to be like everyone else.
We also don't. It's like making a video stuff. I don't struggle with that with my generation. It's like, what's the content and what's the information?
Yeah.
Because I make content for my dad all day, every day. Marketing. But I didn't come up with the information and I just filmed them and I edited.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is like, how do you get them to take an action? And so some of the things that you're thinking, like emails and stuff, if you're going to create an email, like, do you have a button that's like, let's talk houses or something like that? If you just put out like content that is like valuable information, how do you get leads from that? Like, is there like a comment or DM me, go to this website? Like, how do you get them to engage with something that then will ask them to give their information? So you can do that on command. You can do a like, check out these houses on your website, and you can give your URL. And then as they click through after so many pictures, it will force them to register. Yeah. Well, it depends on your strategy. If you send your friends and family to your own website and you already know their information, then don't have a limit, because then they can just click through. If you're sending like random leads from social media, like if you're talking in a video, like you need to check out this house, link in the bio type idea, then random people will find that, will go to that page, but you can never get their information because they can see everything.
Yeah.
They never have a reason to reach out to you.
I was like, I'm the guy that never gives information for anything I'm curious about.
People
So-
will stop.
So I just thought, oh yeah, people are just gonna, but there are people, my wife's entire family, who anytime, anything ever asks for their information, people get it, it's not something that they care about. So it's just like.
Yeah. And command makes it real easy because it's like a sign in with Facebook, with Google, with Apple, with your email kind of a thing. And so a lot of the times it's like a 2-click process. Okay. Figure out what your email plan is going to be. Are you going to write them? Are you going to set people up on hot sheets? And then when you are going to do this. That was the whole idea with the calendar. So real estate typically is a 90-day cycle. If someone like me who has been in real estate for a long time starts to make phone calls, I will probably get phone calls, marketing. Like if I'm like, oh no, I have no business, and I just focused real hard for 2 or 3 weeks right now, I would probably get business 90 days from now. Like a paycheck 90 days from now. Because I have like some momentum going, and it's just like re-energizing that momentum 90 days. Well, if you look, we're on August 8th. So September is 30, October is 60, November is 90. I am literally, the work I do today is going to show up as a paycheck in November. If I wait till next month, that's where it gets a little dicey, because 90 days from September is in December. But we have a week off basically for Thanksgiving. No one does anything that week. Then the last 2 weeks, no one's gonna do anything. And gosh, we're gonna creep into almost 3 weeks, because Tuesday, Wednesday are already shot that second to last week of the year. Because it's New Year's Eve and Christmas. So then everyone's taking the 23rd off. You're not going back to 26th or 27th. And then same with the last one. You were not gonna work on Monday and Tuesday. So those 7 days or whatever are just gone. And then how many parties are in December? Like, it's a slow build. So if you want to pay for Christmas, now's the time. All your work now actually is gonna pay you in Christmas. And it would not be weird for that to be 1, 2, or 3 closings from your efforts.
Well, that's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, wouldn't it be nice to have like,
Are lucky to get a few bills the first years of starting. That's the reality.
do you know the difference? It's when you were starting from scratch, right? So you have to let everyone know that you're in real estate, but then they forget. And so then you're letting everyone know you're in real estate, and then you get these random leads, and so you stop talking to everyone that you know, and you just go focus on your leads. Or you do none of that because you have to build your listing presentation and your buyer's packet, and you need to organize yourself, and you have to have the perfect calendar. And so agents do all of this stuff that doesn't bring business. And so if you can get out and tell everyone you're in real estate, but then have this campaign of the 36 touch, which allows them to remember you're in real estate, give you these direct asks for real estate and things like that, then you will constantly remind them, and they will remember, and then you will get leads. So some of this could be on autopilot, great. If I can't, it's just this should be your effort, is marketing to your database. So go draw out your calendar. Let me know what you need help with or where you're falling short in terms of events, emails, calls, and then if you decide mailers. And don't skimp on the phone calls. Okay, go crush it. Bye.
Oh,